Whoa.
B3, make that a 1v2.
2 seconds left. It's going to come down.
Faber making a third as he looks up. Faker he finds the draw. 3. Stunning here from...
Welcome back, everybody, to day 2 of the SCS Season 6 Qualifier. Number 2, I am Lynx, joined by Benny, and we had 4 games yesterday. 4 best of ones on stream, 4 rounds, and now today, bringing you rounds 5 through 8. Benny, I have to say, we're slowly getting down to that list of the teams that are no longer flawless. Only got 4 more who have not lost a match. I'm excited to see who is the next to fall.
I'm excited to see no Oregon.
That is true. That's another good point. I do believe, while the map bans last time I heard, about a minute before we ended the broadcast, we did not have Oregon. Oregon was banned, and I believe I've just gotten word, as you heard Benny say, ooh, Benny heard as well, that we have Villa on the board. So, a new map, at least for this qualifier, specifically one that isn't Oregon. As you will see, you might start to feel that the clips blend together a little bit. Well, it's because most of them are on Oregon. So.
Hey, we had some good matches either way. A few of them. Some of them were interesting, to say the least.
Some of them happen.
Yeah, some of them were a spectacle that we will maybe go down history, maybe just be forgotten with with wind.
Yeah, it'll be Penta EG, SSG NIP, and then Favelas versus who did they even play? I can't even remember. Judgment Day?
Yeah, Judgment Day. Yeah.
Yeah, then right. Favelas Judgment Day, top 3 right there. Star-studded list.
That was quite a game. But yeah, no, yesterday was just it became a mishmash of just Oregon, and you could tell if you were listening to us casting yesterday, it got kind of ridiculous.
I mean, we took the final game seriously. It was just when Diaz started picking Glaz and Amaru, or Fish started picking Cali, or I think they hit the first defense round and Gomez insta-locked Cav. Or no, it was Kroll that insta-locked Cav. Excuse me. My bad. Didn't mean to disparage the man. But we figured we could be a little bit more, be in a silly, goofy mood for that one. Though for the final one, though, we certainly had some highlight moments. Poison's ace right there was the Mike and Ike's sweet play of the day. And it was a fairly good play.
That's
as
an ace
often
right there.
And yeah, as Benny said, that was what we called the sour play of the day, followed up by something not as sour, but still not great. Both of which JJ, unfortunately, was the butt of a few jokes. And he lost the game, sadly. Unlucky.
Yeah, hey, well, he was doing a lot of different plays that day, so it happens. But today we got some fun games. We're on 5 through 8, our last rounds of the day, and then tomorrow we close qualifiers. So let's see what teams can make it to close and what teams will stay flawless, if any do at least still even stay flawless.
Yep, we've got a bracket and standings to look at. To recap, in case you didn't watch yesterday for some reason. First of all, come on, man. What are you doing? Should have watched yesterday. We had a very good time. You saw some highlights. But basically, Benny, we have 4 teams left. I say Benny like you don't know what I'm about to tell you. We have 4 flawless teams left. Just pretend like you don't know. We have Nocturnes, Outlast, We Miss Benfield, and ALPHA1. Those are the 4 remaining teams who are currently 4 and 0, who have not lost a single game. The Nocturnes Outlast game will be on Super's channel concurrently with this one. And the We Miss Benfield and ALPHA1 will be on this broadcast. Why did we not go with the matchup between the 2 CL teams? Well, we casted them both yesterday, and the whole point of this qualifier is to shine a light on some of the teams and the players that maybe will get overshadowed by the CL teams. So we wanted to look at these 2 teams.
Yeah.
That you probably would not have seen or heard had we gone with the Nocturnes or Outlast game.
Yeah, I think the fact that you want to cast the Nocturnes, cast Outlast yesterday, you want to find some different teams playing today, and these are both 2 teams who, we haven't seen much of. Sure, we've seen some of the players like Joe, like Kame, like Shiba in the past with Milas, but then We Miss Benfield. I know none of these players, never heard any of them. I want to see some cool stuff, some new players, some new talents here in the scene.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we decided to go with this. Of course, by the way, we had a top 16 yesterday. And I will say, Benny and I do believe, have 10 out of the current 16 correct. So we are rocking a positive prediction percentage, or a plus 50% prediction percentage on the top 16. Want to get that out of the way. But both these teams are flawless, and they were not in our top 16. So another good reason to go with them. Because, well, they clearly surprised us by being flawless. So much so, decided not to put them in the top 16, they proved we were wrong. And plus, they gave us Villa, Benny. I mean, we had to stream them since they gave us a different map. I don't know what map Nocturnes and Outlast are playing. I don't know if it's Oregon. But considering they both picked it yesterday.
Oh, they're playing Coastline.
You kidding me?
Yeah, they're playing Coastline.
We steal that game back?
Steal Super.
Can we give it back? Can we kick Super out of the lobby and take that game? Nah, I'm just kidding. I just like Coastline, but I'm still happy that we get a new map. So honestly, I'm chilling. I'm fine with the Villa.
This be good. This be interesting. I want to see some good new talent. See how these players play on Villa and what we're gonna have here. But really, anything, just see what our new talent is like, and if they can show something different than the per usual. Because we've already seen Nocturnes Outlast just a ton yesterday. We don't need to see more of them.
We've seen a ton of them in general throughout both these qualifiers. Yes. I do have one question though, Benny. Who is BENFIELD?
That was a good question. That was
Who's BENFIELD? Because I don't know. Clearly, he did something to warrant the longing that this 5-man roster in front of us has. They miss him. Wish he was here. I don't know who he is.
Did he depart from Siege? Did he go to Valorant?
Did he go to another game? Did he? I don't know.
Or maybe this is like a fictional character
to the
from
Great
like a
Beyond.
story? I
was thinking of, what's that? Is there like a character? Say like, not Adventure Time. Is it Regular Show? I feel like there's a character named Benson. That's what I thought of when I heard BENFIELD. So I was like, maybe it's that. Then I realized it wasn't BENFIELD. So I was wrong. I don't know. I don't know who BENFIELD is. ALPHA1 is just a much more standard name.
Oh, it's a straightforward one. Yeah, it's very standardized. It seems like almost like a militarized name at that point.
Look at you, bringing in the military. Oh, I'm Benny. I served in the army.
I didn't say that even. Come on.
He's always trying to shoehorn it in there.
I just said one thing.
Not unlike the way I try to shoehorn in an ad read. Thank you to Mike and Ike's as always for being a sponsor of SCS. I felt that was a very good transition there when you said shoehorn it in. I felt like I needed to go with it. But of course, we'll take this time as we are waiting for all 10 players and our lobby to talk about one of the two sponsors here for SCS, Mike and Ike's. I actually, by the way, I've said the original and Megamix for so long that when the sour version popped up on the screen, I was legitimately surprised. Mostly because I also don't like sour candy. I'm just more like
Hey, Mike and Ike heard me when I always talked about the sour side, so they made this ad.
Yeah, they made the sour one directly for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they heard Rainbow Six commentator Benny Al Gold say, I'm a really big fan of sour candy, guys. And they're like, this guy knows what's up. This guy's doing it, and we're gonna mega him up. And that's exactly what they did. I obviously don't know if that's true, but I do know that Mike and Ike's are the best fruit-flavored candy, and I want to thank them for being one of the sponsors here for SCS Season 6. So thank you. Benny, I thought that was the smoothest transition that I've ever done. I thought that was the most
I think if you've done the chair one in the past too, I think a few times you did was pretty good transitions as well though. But hey, maybe we do a better one in the future. You always got time to do more.
That's true. I will do plenty of shout outs in the future. I feel like, I showed my chair yesterday. I feel like once we get to Mavix later on, I'll come up with something. I have a pretty sad chair, so I'll come up with some joke about it. You have a nice chair, actually. You have
my chair, it looks nice, but it's very old actually too. It's not great. It's not
I was about to say, you're really telling me that's not a nice chair? I mean, not to look away from you lovely people, but I mean, looking at Benny's screen right now, it looks comfortable. Actually, hold on. Forget the chair. I don't care about that. Benny, you need to... I don't care if the game is about to start either way. I need to ask this. Why is your bed backwards?
I remember when CW said that.
Why is it backwards?
There's someone always in chat that goes, why is his bed backwards?
No, I'm serious. Screw the bands. Why is your bed backwards? You need to answer to the people right now.
Is it backwards though? Can you tell?
Yes, your pillows are at the foot of the bed. Of course it's backwards.
Well, maybe that's how the bed... Why are you full screening it? Come on.
No, answer. Why is your bed backwards?
Well, see, so if you can't see, so right there is a fan in my... I like sitting there, like having the fan blow right on my head while I'm sleeping.
Okay, that actually makes sense. All right, that's fair. So we do I'm satisfied by that line of questioning, so I will change topics.
I wasn't sure people were expecting something like crazy out of that conversation or something.
Well,
like,
I mean, it's not often you see an upside down bed, so I feel like
I had
it's
to bed
fair.
backwards because I do magic, and that makes the demons come out at night.
Yeah, it's some kind of summoning ritual. Anyway, we do have the bans going on. Nothing all too crazy though. We have Hibana, Thatcher, and I believe Valkyrie up next.
Yep.
Probably Mira to round this out based on the trend this way is going. No Zofia ban though, Benny. That was a common thing we had yesterday, at least a couple times.
Yeah, it was like a couple times we had just we don't want to do the LMG. LMG's been quite the oppressor in the Siege community, so getting it out of the way has helped. I'm not sure actually it hasn't really helped anybody because you can just play Finka with the LMG, but maybe that's just me.
It's 50 less bullets. That's something.
I guess.
It's 50 less bullets, actually. That is the something that it is. So, but yeah, it's I mean, fairly standard overall. Sometimes we'll see a Flores ban instead of a Hibana. Usually the Thatcher is taken down, but
it's
nothing. Yeah, nothing all too crazy here. We will see that Flores from We Miss BENFIELD unless ALPHA1 picks it. Oh wow, actually, I was gonna say I don't think he will, but he actually will.
I guess in that same vein though, having Flores or Twitch are kind of like the same function, I guess, in a sense. You're trying to destroy those shields, and you can do so now with the laser.
So. Honestly, though, I don't know. What do you think, Benny? Because here, obviously, ALPHA1 are going for a main. Oh wait, they're not going for a main stairs hold.
Nope.
Oh, it's Trophy Statuary. Sorry, I just saw the 5 operator lineup, which this lineup, and Benny can agree, aside from lacking a smoke, is a very common main stairs hold lineup. Like the Tachanka, the Goyo, the Jaeger, the Wamai. Like this is that is the lineup you'd bring for a main stairs hold on Aviator Games. So I guess never mind. But still, you have that deployable shield. You have those those Goyo shield as well. I feel like a Flores would still be good here. Either way, you have to worry about the mute jammers. But I guess you have that laser to maybe try and sneak around a corner, get an angle on the mute jammers, and try and shoot them. Either way, Flores or Twitch, no matter what, that is something they'll have to deal with because you can't have the Twitch or the Flores to destroy those Goyo shields, that Tachanka, just normal deployable shield, but it's going to be difficult to work around Millie's mute jammers.
Yeah, I guess having the tasers and lasers does help to deal with it. And I guess maybe at that point, is it maybe a question of comfortability, whether it be the AR-33 or picking the F2? Having maybe the smokes.
That too is good. And the smokes.
It depends. I guess that's what the point is. Well, Millie's just going to jump it. I love how that window was just open and he just jumped down in front of it.
My boy just didn't care.
he just didn't care. He just jumps down and doesn't.
He's going back.
that is interesting. And he just dies.
Wait, the window's not open.
No.
Oh, you meant the upstairs? Oh,
no, he opened the bathroom window. He dropped through the bathroom hatch.
Oh, sorry. I thought
he
it was
had
the
his
same
back
window.
turned to the window and then walks away.
Well, that does mean that ALPHA1 just sprayed through a window and killed Millie's.
Pretty much, yes.
Unlucky, I suppose. GG go next. Opening pick for We Miss BENFIELD with really little to no cost expended. Plus, you don't have to worry about the C4 as well. Ooh, nice anticipation by Shiba. First Twitch drone taken down. Could probably take down the second one because ALPHA1 is just about to send it through the exact same way. So could probably be shot. Yeah, there we go. They just okay. I mean, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to evade the mute jammer, but still, sending it down the same way where Shiba just saw you do it, I mean, you're basically giving it to him.
Yeah, that's kind of a bit too obvious at that point. Though you can always go below with that lifeline from the Zofia because Zofia's not banned. Well, Turbo elsewhere, though, takes out BJL. He takes him down probably at the bricks door, so great shots and kind of... And oh my god, this doesn't... Nobody expects that. Nobody expects Packers to walk in and take down 2.
Kami tries to fight back, and I guess he got stun-locked by the presence of Kami inside, or presence of the attacking team inside, and it's a flawless round to start things out. I mean, Benny, I don't envy you right now, as you have to try to break down that round, which... I mean, the defenders barely even moved. Like, they barely even moved from their positions.
The only thing we saw was, well, ALPHA1 got the first pick on someone just through a window. Didn't even really know it was there. I don't know if he knew it was there or not, or just pre-fired it or what. And then from there, like, we didn't see much else besides you saw BGL go down after that. There's 3 people still alive at that point. And then Packer just comes out of nowhere. I don't know where Packer was. He just somehow is just playing couch, walks in a statue, and the Jaeger of Shiba's like just looking towards Master with no clue, no information, gets shot in the back of the head. Then another person over trophy, the Maestro gets down as well, and that's the end of the round. Like, I don't know.
I also love that just sometimes that can happen in Siege when you're casting. I saw Millie's drop down the 90 hatch.
Yeah.
And then and then we Damn. Unlucky. I don't even have my ring light on.
One of those days.
Do I turn it on? Yeah, I'll turn it on. There we go. Well, unlucky. The nice thing, though, is we can, I think, just reconnect, hopefully, praying. I mean, we have the option to, but sometimes the game can be weird. I wait with bated breath.
I hope we can.
Nope. We cannot connect to the server.
I wonder if so I wonder if, so at this point, you have to remake it, because I think, yeah, the server died for everyone, I think. Not just the observer. Maybe?
Sorry, I thought I just heard someone open my door.
Oh, God. Someone just opens the door behind
No,
you.
sometimes, I think my roommate might be doing laundry, and sometimes if you, well, it goes for any of the doors in my house. Sometimes if you just close the door a bit too hard, my door kind of rattles. But I heard it, and I was about to bust out karate skills from 7th grade. I would have scorpion kicked that dude if somebody came.
I think the funniest time for that for me was one time I was in the military. Yeah, you know, you gotta...
Come on, dude. Every single time with this guy.
But there was one time I was sleeping in my dorm room and I'm just kind of sleeping, and all of a sudden I hear someone open my door, just straight open the door to my room, and I'm like,
is this like a Full Metal Jacket situation? Are they about
no. He opens the door and he goes,
of soap?
I go to the door and he goes, oh, I'm supposed to be living here. I'm like, what? I live here. Get out of here. I just close the door and I go back to bed.
You could have been in that guy's house. That could have been his house. There's one time, I was sleeping over at Annalise's place. And we were laying in bed, and she fell asleep. I think I was reading or something. And I turned off my iPad, put it down. I have an e-reader. And I was trying to go to sleep, and I, was laying there. I'll move my mic, so I'm not. I was laying there. I was just sitting there. And I look over at Annalise, and, she's sleeping. And then all of a sudden, she does this. She goes... She just stares at me. Just dead stares at me. And I'm like... Yeah? And then she goes... Just right back to sleep. Right back to sleep. I'm not joking. That was actually one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. Like, she literally just sat up like the Manchurian Candidate, just like...
That's some horror movie shit right there.
Yeah, dude, it was terrifying. I was actually scared. She's a big sleep talker too. There's one time where I was trying to go to sleep again. Yeah. It's a different night. Trying to go to sleep, and she just goes, yeah. And I'm like, she might be watching right now. She might not like that I'm telling these stories.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I feel like you're just outing her on stream now.
I feel like this isn't that bad.
She told me she like sleepwalks or some shit, and she just goes down and gets like a glass of water.
Nah, she doesn't. I don't think I've ever met anybody that slept walk, unless they kept it as a hidden secret. I don't know. We are back in the game, by the way. Sorry if you were not happy about Benny and I's side conversations. It's just the only one round has happened, and it was a flawless round for We Miss Benfield.
There's not much to analyze.
Wasn't a lot to really talk about. So instead,
I'm going to analyze and say, Mealy, you should be in front of that window.
So instead, we talked about weird things that happened while we were trying to sleep. I have really I actually have really bad recurring sleep paralysis.
I hear about that, yeah. Sleep paralysis seems like a pretty crazy thing. Like, I had a friend in the military that had sleep paralysis as well. And he said that he'd be in his bed and you'd have to like shake him to wake him up to get him out of it. And it's like, scary.
No. I did more research into it, and I have a deviated septum, so like my nose is just kind of bent a little bit, which makes it a bit more difficult to breathe, and means that obviously when you sleep, sometimes you stop breathing, just how sleep works. So it's a bit harder to breathe while I sleep, and often what can happen is sleep paralysis can be triggered by an irregular breathing pattern while you sleep can mess up your REM cycle, and a messed up REM cycle can trigger more instances of sleep paralysis. So it's kind of a train.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, he would say like sometimes he would just like he would almost be awake, but he can't get up or do anything. That's how he would describe it as. And that sounds horrible.
The reason I said that was because a couple nights ago, again, we're talking about while we're sleeping, I had it like twice in the same night.
Oh. God,
that's not uncommon for me, by the way. All because for whatever reason when I was born, my nose is messed up. Like,
why should your nose mess up?
Deviated septum is just a genetic thing. Sometimes you're born and it's just It's just like, you know, the bone between, or not the bone between your eyes, but just kind of somewhere along your nose bone. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's just bent a little bit.
No, that's unfortunate. Well, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, or deal with it, I guess. But hey,
I think.
what's up?
Story for another time. Packer's just creeping up brownstairs, by the way.
Yeah, he's trying to do the pantry rush. You know, you wouldn't expect it, right?
Yeah, the solo pantry rush. It's gonna work out great.
Oh, he just walks in a laundry, walks in and murders somebody, and walks out.
This attack has been incredible so far.
Dude, it's always interesting when teams don't elect to roam clear and they like to just try and push on the site, and what the things you can get away with sometimes when the defense is not ready on site. And so far, it looks like they've gotten that single wall. They got the BGM route, so they can open it up and start destroying things. But that vertical pressure can be used. There is a hole made by the defense in bathroom, so they can see somewhat into sight. Though I think the bars are going the other way, so they're a bit difficult to see through. Really.
Yeah. Well, and there only are 2 defenders on site right now, so God, every time I start talking, something happens. I yawn, I cough, something. Only 2 defenders on site right now. Some might have rotated back, but I do believe we still have 2 defenders on the top floor, 2 defenders on the bottom floor.
Yep.
Yes, that is the case. One defender goes down, not dead. Fortunately, the Mute not able to finish off Banzera as the Sophia charges back out that laundry door. Only 3 drones remaining, by the way, Benny. As you can see on your screen, we miss BENFIELD being a little bit liberal with their drone usage, and unfortunately, many have now fallen. BJL is down, can be revived, so hopefully they use one of those 3 drones to realize that. Packer, instead, no drones, has decided to walk into the site, but on top of that, and because of that, Banzera will take the chaos caused by the Yana, suddenly Chad walking into B site to get 2 kills. And now Shiba's forced to rotate down, help Millies, who is currently alone inside of kitchen dining. He'll try to sit on Tetris and stop the push in from laundry. And now Shiba in a position from Memorial to help out. This is a nice angle held by Millies, one that the attackers have to react to. But right as one starts to peek out with their head, they pull back and allow Sam to put the bomb onto the floor. There's Turbo, pushed his way in. Millie's able to take down Banzera before the bomb can go down successfully, but still in the 1v2. BENFIELD can play the man advantage and double swing onto the remaining defender. 2 rounds in a row for the attack, and to be fair, not nearly as strong as the first one.
Not nearly as strong, but again, like, we miss BENFIELD has been able to just poke and prod over and over again in these rounds, and it just seemed like they're catching ALPHA1 off guard in these 2 rounds. With him Milling getting killed out, Packer able to walk in the first round, and then this round too, you saw Banzera just walk into dining, get a pick, walk back out. I think he did it. I think he downed someone too. He did it twice pretty much. He just kills someone. Next time he walks in, downs BJL, walks back out. They opened the wall up, able to just kind of almost push those defenders back around, make them rotate back to site, despite maybe having some of that vertical pressure, maybe even having that control of that top floor. So maybe if they could have used the top floor coverage in a different way to stop that push into dining, but again, it just seems like they're just walking on the site, and unfortunately, even though that ALPHA1 has the defense, they have the advantage per se, they're just getting taken down left and right.
So far, it does appear that we miss BENFIELD are a little bit more. Nah, that's not the word I would use. What I say? A little more proficient when it comes to, as you said, that poking, prodding, trying to work those angles, get those picks, and ALPHA1 are just kind of sitting passively, letting it happen, and getting 2 rounds on Villa attack. If they're able to just repeat what they did on Trophy Statuary, or even half of what they did on Trophy Statuary, Miss BENFIELD could very well net themselves at even half without really all that much. Why'd you chortle just now, Benny?
It sounded like you just called them Miss BENFIELD, and you almost sound like it was the we. So it's like almost calling the team Miss BENFIELD.
I got it. Okay, hold on. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I was about to say I'm gonna type out see who BENFIELD is, but I was like, oh no, my Google Chrome might crash.
I love how that's the thing too. Your Chrome crashes when you search things. Oh my god.
I am finding no results for BENFIELD.
Who is BENFIELD? Why are
BENFIELD is an English toponymic surname for one or more of the numerous places in England called Benfield or Binfield.
I'm more confused now. But either way, we miss BENFIELD. The team is just pushing forward right now, right through Aviator Games, pushing towards, couches towards that Boar area, and nobody's there. But there is that C4 from below. Looks like there is a setup by ALPHA1 and below if they were to go for a plant. Though, and the question is, what intel do they have to, be able to get those C4s reliably down if they go for the plant statuary? Jolt's gonna start, seeing if anybody's pushing down red hallway. Nobody's there for the moment. One inside of living room as well. So it's actually quite a few people downstairs and only a couple actually on site. Once again.
Well, I thought there was going to be some kind of coordinated play between Banzera and the Yana to open up that wall and then have the Yana push, but Packer just pushed in anyway and got the kill. So it doesn't really matter all that much. Sheba falls. There are still 2 defenders down below. There is now one. Wait. No, never mind. Turbo is just by the site. Has down Sam with the diffuser. So an important one, as that was the player pushing into the site to get the bomb down inside the statuary. As Benny pointed out, defense can go for a C4, and Sam might still be alive, but everyone that pushed the site with him has now fallen. Ashiana, sitting behind Astro Desk, will catch one defender off guard. BGL, unfortunately, unaware of the Twitch's presence, once again, in an area outside the site. Now, Millie's, oddly enough, has to pull back, try to make something happen, and, well, Ashiana's caught completely off guard. That was a curious round, Benny, in which attackers became defenders, the defenders became attackers, and then there and back again.
I just love how they were on site, and despite Sam going down, they didn't prioritize trying to pick Sam back up and get the diffuser down. It's kind of like Packers still downstairs mulling about. You had Turbo then push farther into the site towards bathroom, lose the fight rather than try to hold for a cover for the planter, and then Asiano then just sits and waits to get a kill onto the refrag. And Sam just was just bleeding out the entire time. Curious events.
Certainly was oddly paced. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Also, interesting so far. Yeah. So, kind of like we saw yesterday from Outlast. No, I guess no. Outlast was on the attack. For ALPHA1, I guess this is just their lineup for the defense.
Yeah, they haven't changed it at all.
Yeah, they haven't changed an operator. I don't think a single time, except I think BGL played the Aruni once.
Yeah, no, they're on the kitchen site. He was Aruni. That's what about it.
I mean, listen, to be fair, it's not like this is a bad selection of operators. I mean, you certainly have a lot. You have a couple C4s, plus the Shamika grenades to either slow down the attackers executing onto the site, or if they go for a plant, like we saw last round, you can use a C4 to stop it. You also have the mute jammer for intel denial, the magnets and the ADSs for projectile denial. It's not a bad lineup. And if anything, for Aviator Games, this is maybe switch out one operator for the smoke. This would be the standard setup, but it is interesting that they are just running the same 5 defenders for every single site. It's not something you see that often.
I don't know, yeah, I do like how, like, these days, compared to previous metas, we've had more diverse lineups in a sense. Yeah. But I will say, I think teams still can have, still can just stick with certain lineups if they want to, per se. I don't know how much it really benefits
I'm not
them.
saying it's a bad thing. It's just normally we see a little bit more variation.
Yeah, maybe, well, it depends. I guess we don't really know these teams that much. Maybe they are still, figuring things out, and they haven't really delved into changing up their operator lineups. They just figure out what works for them right for the moment, and they're just sticking with it, because that's what sometimes teams do. Makes sense, If something works, you're going to stick to it. You're not going to break it too often. But hey, we'll see what happens if they do end up changing the lineup where they start losing those rounds more often to We Miss Benfield, though. Hey, we're finally an AVG, though. The site you thought would be first, or second, or third.
Yeah. Well, I thought the first round was Aviator Games because I saw this lineup and assumed it was Aviator Games. And, well, I was actually about to say the entry game for so far for We Miss Benfield hasn't missed a beat, and it's had some issues. It's not been as clean as you would hope. Vamp was the first to go down, but not the first to die. He is the second to die now, as Jolt uses a C4 to confirm the kill on the sledge. Nice. But BJL was technically the first one to die in this round. And, well, ALPHA1 might be the third. The third body to fall could be a player on ALPHA1. Packerstar misses his first opportunity as Jolt immediately peeks out. Now there are 2 players shooting at the Yana. One from behind, I believe, and one in front of him. Yeah, you can see the mute has just completely creeped into the living room. There's Ashiana to refrag his teammate. It's been a very hectic entry game so far, Benny. It's just players just in certain places at random times. Can't tell if it's part of some coordinated plan or what, but I mean, it's 3v3. I guess it's kind of
last one's been like that too. Last one, same thing, where it just kind of felt like very odd. But just, again, like you said, pacing on top of where players are at. And again, it just seems like players are downstairs, they're upstairs, they're pushing, jumping down, and trying to take refrags to take fights, but In a 3v3, and we haven't seen We Miss Benfield go for any other angle, it looks like, especially with the smoking grenades, it should be a win for the defense. Unless, again, if they can give those frags out, but Kami, they're great way play off of the shield and the elevated surface that Ashiana had, opted to be on top of. This should be pretty easy for them to, stop right here. There's still a C4 in hand. Is there a C4 available? There it is.
Yeah, no, there it is. Millie's gets a C4 kill on a Sam, and I imagine Banzera isn't long for this world. Could find one, does find the Tachanka, as Shiba unfortunately not aware of the position, but Banzera can't claim the kill before Shiba reacts. Yeah, as we started to say, that round was very oddly paced by We Miss Benfield, and I honestly didn't even realize that they had only just left Trophy Statuary with less than a minute remaining.
Yeah, when they got to that point and they still had the shields available, the C4, and the Shibiki grenades in a 3v3, unless they get frags, like I said, that should have been a defense win, which it was. Which they at least they got vault wall open, but there's only so much you can do with that one side of fair pushing from that one direction. Otherwise, you can combo and stay behind the shields, wait for it. You have a C4 from Mills to play behind the vault wall and stop that plan from happening. So good job from ALPHA1. And yeah, again, what was that beginning round? That sure, that was a good early pick from We Miss Benfield, but then one player goes down, they get finished off by C4. Then Packers, again, by himself, trying to refrag, and nobody's with him. So he can get flanked behind him, and then Ashiana jumps down to then refrag onto, I believe it was Shiba. So it's like, or Joel, I don't know what's going on with this. This is very chaotic.
Yeah, overall, it just seemed like a very chaotic train of events, what we saw. But keep in mind, by the way, that We Miss Benfield, they have 2 attacking rounds, so even if they completely fall apart in the next couple, they'd still be at the bare minimum of what they generally should have. And now they're about to go to kitchen dining, which is, in theory, usually the weaker site. Not necessarily the trend. This game is, well, We Miss Benfield got a flawless round on Trophy Statuary, but they still won this one here. So another good opportunity to guarantee themselves an even 3-3 half. This was also one where the entry game seemed a little bit better. All they did was send a player in laundry, a player up pantry stairs to try to probe for a weakness, and ALPHA1 appeared eager to give them one, and they did.
Yeah, it's interesting to see when teams kind of elect to push back the site when people started dying too, because at that point it seemed like it's just the fact that Benfield was able to just walk and take picks, and Memory started walking back into sight and taking those positions and still losing those fights. And here we go, Banzera once again. Can he get away with just walking into the site, finding a kill, and then walking back out like he's done?
He
did it twice. He got a kill in
drone?
down. Yeah, I think he's using that drone and drone again. Kami's here to see if someone's going to drop that pantry. So, depending on intel's here, and the fact that ALPHA1 has that top floor control, which, well, maybe this time we'll see them actually push it because we see Turbo up here for the moment, or maybe just waiting for someone from ALPHA1 to just poke their head out or rotate, unknowing he's sitting at the window.
Well, they'll spot Jolt playing behind a Goyo shield in bathroom. They have plenty of utility to deal with both the player and the shield, so just play a little bit patiently, set at that bathroom window, send in a nade, and honestly, yeah, now with Ashiana on the bathroom rappel, somebody on the closet rappel, if they get someone bathroom window too, it's going to be difficult for Jolt to find his way out of this. Vamp will send in a nade and lands directly behind Jolt. Can't even react in time. Well-cooked and well-placed utility by Vamp to win that opening duel. Kami also put to extremely low HP. Ooh, threw a hole made in the floor right below that Ashbro window. Just one bad movement, and it's a 3v5.
Oh, it looks like Banzera not aware of Miller's aggression as they aggress right into laundry. Stop that play happening once again. Shiba, great job taking out Sam upstairs, and Turbo's here to try and refrag, which he does. Takes out Shiba. There's still one more player in BJL who's trying to hold on to Ash upstairs at the moment. We're down to a 3v3. Though Kami is on low HP from early engagements. Now we're gonna see We Miss Benfield use that top floor control because they still they have a sledge, they have that soft breach capability to start pushing these players out like Melees or Kami on site. BGL is the only one kind of off site to maybe throw something different when it comes to execute. We're going to see how We Miss Benfield can create this skill because going out last minute, and we see some solo plays like Pakistan, Ashiana, and Turbo all in 3 different places. So they're all going to take separate 1v1s.
Yeah. Well, and plus with Kami's low HP, based on the position that Kami's playing right now, if Kami falls, it could be difficult really to hold the rest of this site. I mean, BGL has a nice angle watching the push in from Laundry, but if Benfield are able to work the 2v3 effectively and, well, they take down Kami in that position, it could probably be a winnable round. Unfortunately, Packer walks directly into a crossfire held by the two non-1 HP members of the defense, and it's now Benfield who have to play with a man disadvantage. Kami, unaware of the Twitch's entry into Laundry, falls, but thankfully there's the teammate to help her out. Now Vamp has to try and with little intel win this round, and he's not able to make do with the little that he has. 3 rounds in a row for ALPHA1. They, in fact, are the ones to guarantee themselves an even half and look in prime position to move up 4-2.
As a round where, unfortunately, Benfield couldn't get the frags they needed to give them the upper hand early. It was just trades back and forth. Sure, they got Jolt. Miles fights back. You saw trades there from Shiba as well, taking rounds back, but then Turbo takes them one down. So this kind of trading out those entries, giving to a 3-3 execute, and then seeing people like Pakistar, unfortunately, just kind of walk in by themselves down Red Hall, not really aware of where these players are at, walk into a crossfire, then leaving the 2 players pushing through Laundry by themselves, try and push in and take those fights. But then you have Miles is playing his Miles shotgun around the corner. He just wait for that position. He has the time on his favor, and he can just win those 2 fights, or at least down to the player, then wait for the last player to try and push forward. They push from that Memorial side, trying to get back into sight. And really, I guess it's hard to try and do those 3v3s on Villa or kind of sites like that.
Well, even then, they had some vertical control, but I actually, Benny, I feel like I've characterized Benfield's entry, and feel free to disagree with me. I feel like they're recognizing proper weak points in places that they can exploit to get an early pick, but it feels sort of cumbersome. It feels like their eye is right, but it feels like their execution is very just sort of haphazard.
I do agree, because we've seen Pakistar walk in multiple times by himself. We've seen Ashiana do it as well. So I do agree that they do have an early, I think they have a good early drone work. They have a good plan maybe in place, or a good idea to do it. But then they kind of, like you said, execute in almost a haphazard, or just almost, if well, it's, like, I don't know, well, it's not a great plan.
But yeah, take Jolt inside a bathroom, right? Like, they did a very good job nading him out, taking their time, working off angles, using intel. But then after that, their movement actually into Trophy Stature is very just trying to take gunfights. They probably had intel, but not really playing off each other. It just, I don't know. That's at least my opinion. And what I saw right now, I believe Trophy Stature rate, correct? Yes, it is. Okay. I don't know why I second-guessed myself for a second.
There's definitely multiple examples where we see good parts from them, and then we see parts where players are just kind of solo pushing, solo walking into certain areas by themselves, expecting just to take a fight, and then that's it. There's no refrag ability. There's no ability for them to play off each other.
Also, you know what's occurred to me? I don't think we've addressed it really. Have they been running a hard breach?
No, they haven't. They haven't opened a single wall.
I was about to say...
No, actually, no, I lied. No, they opened the vault wall once.
Oh, yeah. They
brought Sam on the
Sam.
On the ace.
Yeah, Sam has run ace. It's just, it's felt like they haven't done anything. Is Packer just about to send it into Statue?
That's how he won last time. He's going to do it again.
All right, well, Turbo has already made his way into bricks. Packer with the Gone 6 explosion almost finds the first pick. It's Vamp instead to take down Kami. There is Shiba on the opposite side inside of Trophy, so needs to be careful of that angle. Nice shot by Jolt. Pops the head of Sam, but it's too little too late at this point. He gets a second kill for his troubles, but the troubles for ALPHA1 far outweigh the successes of Jolt in this round so far. Bomb on the floor, 3v1, and Vamp actually whiffing the initial part of that gunfight, but winning it in the end. It is an even half, but that was not the fashion I expected.
Well, it was the same defense from the side of ALPHA1. Again, they're putting a lot of stock on that base, or that downstairs first floor, having a C4 to stop the plant, which last time, that was the round where it was very chaotic. It was where Benfield was kind of just taking fights downstairs, despite having control of sight. We saw last time that issue where we had Turbo go too far. He takes the fight, loses. Asino tries to refrag, but Sam's just kind of in the corner with the diffuser. He's been C4, he's just bleeding out. So this time around, it's that same play, but Benfield were able to recognize, hey, we can take site easily. Let's just do that, get the plant down, and then force them to try and retake site, which they did perfectly. They got on the site. They had two people. They had two directions coming from couches, coming from master bedroom. Walk on the site, kill the anchors, and then force the other defenders who were off site to come back and just kill them. So great job, Benfield. Great 3-3 half. What's the defense gonna be like?
Well, I imagine based off of how Packer and Bands were playing on their attacking half, they'll probably, I would think that they'd both get aggressive, but Packer's on mute right now, so he might take a bit more of an on-site role if he wants to. Also see a... Just realized there's a Mike and Mike on my floor.
You just got silent. I was already confused. Like, what happened?
No, I dropped my pen and I went to go pick it up, in which I would just continue talking, but then I noticed there was a Mike and Ike next to it. Must have been from yesterday. I'll just throw that back in the box. Pretend like that didn't happen. I'm not gonna throw that back in the box. That's gross.
I'm about to say you're gonna throw that back in the box.
I'm about to throw into a mortar and pestle. Kobe. It hit a coffee machine. I missed.
If only went into the coffee machine.
It didn't. I think it actually landed behind the fridge.
Oh, that's even worse now. That's even worse. Oh god.
That Mike and Ike probably has COVID on it now.
Yeah, that's you're gonna find ants on that Mike and Ike now.
Hold on, here you talk. I'm gonna go get it. It's kind of gross.
He's actually doing get it. All right, well on the defense here, first defense for Reese Benfield, and interesting, like I said, for I wonder if Lynx is true that maybe we play some aggressive, see some roams from Reese Benfield, because like you see from Packer, you've seen from Bands, they've been very aggressive on the attack. So we'll see if that translates to their defense here. But so far, it seems to be most of them are on site. Nothing too crazy. We still don't see any other plays. ALPHA1 have made their first part downstairs, though Ashiana is the one outside site, just kind of playing for maybe an angle onto someone on the balcony if someone's going to be there for them, but nobody's there. But with that downstairs control, though, there is no buck, but they still can use, use those grenades, try to destroy some shields, destroy some gadgetry from below. We'll see what they do so far, but it seems to be that same play. We just take control, study, maybe even take control of the main stairs. They'll have to deal with Packer Star and Turbo, who are playing on top of there. So we'll see if they can either deal with the ADSs, deal with the utility, and push these players back, because we've seen them pass from CL in other games. Very difficult times to take that main stairs if they're playing well.
Well, they will push Bands off of that angle, at least for the moment, and they're cognizant of the player playing a similar angle behind bar. Millies will use his second frag grenade, but that player's actually already pulled off. Sam could retake that angle, and with only one nade remaining for ALPHA1 right now, they have to decide, do they want to use another one on these bar holes, or save it for maybe main stairs or something later on in the round? Shiba will, I believe, cook it, or I think he just threw it on main stairs instead. So they're out of nades, and that means that the defense can play these bar holes and stop the push up main stairs. They'll just try to take fights with Packer, and he can very easily get a two-piece before he falls off, or tries to fall off, I should say. To be more accurate, Millies is able to take him down, but the damage has already been done. A very cumbersome main stairs clear that just sort of seemed strung together. Utility expended elsewhere. They just tried to send it up, and they ran face first into a shotgun. Now, that flashbang blinding the rest of their team, I feel like represents the clear so far. Utility sent without really thinking where it's going to go, ends up blinding them, stunning them for a couple seconds. Now they have to pick up the pieces and decide, how do we want to make up for the mistakes we made earlier on in the round? They still have some Soma charges, and they will use one to open up a hole looking behind bar. That's a good position, and will certainly put some good pressure on Sam and deny some of the spots that he could play. Now with 20 seconds remaining, they might instead move over to study, where there are still 4 defenders who can watch this angle very well. Vamp tries to watch it. He unfortunately goes down. The Alibi also miraculously loses that gunfight to Jolt, as he just seemed to be spraying to shoot at that point. And he's going massive so far. The defender's still in the round, though, Benny. Why?
Thank God. If the attackers had won that, I was about to say.
Sure, Jolt might have been going huge. They just got to sit and wait.
Yeah.
That's all they had to do.
All they had to do there. That was just, and that was a round where, Lynx categorized it, characterize it pretty early on there. It's just the fact that that main stairs push, literally just talking about basics, being able to burn and clear AD, all the utility, and then push the defenders back, which unfortunately they did not do. So Packer can just sit there with a shotgun and just shotgun every single player down as they walk upstairs. You got 2 for 1, push it to a 3v4 at that point, and from there, now you have to see those members, because they wasted, not only does it waste the utility, wasted time. They wasted 2 minutes trying to take that control. By the time they did, then they have to try and force these defenders who are sitting in place, sitting entrenched on site, waiting for them to push through, and which they almost did, actually. Surprisingly, they rotate towards study. They start walking through, that single wall that was reinforced inside of Aviator, walking through that Aviator door as well from study, and they're winning fight after fight after fight, and it almost looked like they were going to win that, but again, time was the issue. They had 10 seconds left. They had no seconds left, 5 seconds left to get the last person, which was Sam, sitting inside a vault. And there's no time to do that, to run in there with the Banshees there as well. So, hey, first defense win for Miss Benfield. They'll go on to Trophy Statuary next, where we'll see if they can do that again, hopefully.
Well, they will have to worry about the vertical holes on this side as well. Of course, looking down on the bottom of Ashler's Stairs is one place where They need to use their utility well and hope they can make high impact of it, because if they waste 3 frag grenades on a hole like they did last time and the defense can still play those positions, it'll be problematic for them if they try to just push up those stairs, even if they have players in bathroom and have players on Astro window. For right now, with everyone spawning over by bedroom, they could be going for a direct take, as there isn't much placed over in Aviator Games right now. There's a reinforcement, but everyone else is, well, pretty much on the site. No reason to waste manpower where it's not going to be used very much, and if you want to, you can rotate there later on.
Yeah, let me just see how the Ying plays out for them too. With the Ying there, and it's just like they don't only have the Jaeger to really burn. They could get away with trying to blind and push straight for sight, go for that direct like you were talking about. But we see a push downstairs from ALPHA1, looking to clear that bottom floor for the moment. You know, droning out, seeing things, seeing like those floor holes made by the defense, seeing what's going on in master bedroom. So just doing that first probe work for them, see if they can find a weakness in We Miss Benfield's defense here. But so far, no other real aggression except for Turbo playing red stairs. There's nobody really going downstairs to try and stop ALPHA1 from taking this control. And well, they don't have anything too crazy to really do anything from above, from below. I mean, besides the grenades, there's no, Zofia, there's no Buck. So the question is that really a good use of a grenade, just trying to throw it from below to destroy the shields? There's an argument to be told there, but otherwise, I'm not sure what else we can do here. Well, first kill goes on to Sam, though.
Well, they might not have been able to get a kill on the vertical with their nades, but BGL, just with a nice angle looking into the site, catches the smoke of all operators. So very impactful few shots placed there by the Ying, taking down those 3 toxic canisters, and Packerstar in a 4v5 decides, you know what, I'll try to catch him off guard. I'll try to make a play. This is very risky for him, especially as he's one of the only 2 C4s on the defense. Thankfully, he's not exposing himself too hard right now, and they don't appear to be all that aware of the mute's presence at the bottom of Astronomy stairs. Millie sent his second nade up with really not at all the knowledge that there's somebody eager to get a kill on him in that exact position. But Benny, actually, despite all that utility, they haven't taken down the mute jammer.
Yeah, either. They still 2 grenades on Shiba. Shiba can still try and destroy the mute jammer, but they gotta do it quick. They're running out of time to really make this push happen. Sure, they have the opening pick, but they spent, what, up 2 minutes downstairs, and they haven't really done a whole lot?
That's... I thought they would have at least, well, taken down the mute jammer.
There's still a shield, too.
Yeah, there's... Again, this is just kind of... It's again, utility usage that it's not like it doesn't make sense, but it's placed in a way that just feels very, very rushed, and not like there's not enough thought put into it. There is thankfully part of the wall opened up, so they can still send some Candelas on through if they're not caught by an ADS. BGL only has 1 remaining. Packerstar C4 shot out of the air. The moment it leaves his hand, she will try to take a gunfight with the mute on those stairs, but he's pulled back. You can't take this fight. You can't win this round by holding angles. You have to push in and just hope that he doesn't push up those stairs with a shotgun at your back. Right now, it's the defense going absolutely huge. There's nothing that Kami can do to stop the defense from collapsing all around the attack.
It was interesting. They spent 2 minutes on the first floor, and they don't have a Buck, they don't have a Sophia, they don't have an Ash, so the only thing they can rely on are, well, grenades from the Sledge Amelia to try and destroy some utility. And unfortunately, sure, there was a great shot from BGL, but other than that, like we were questioning, what really did you get done in those 2 minutes? Not a lot was really destroyed. You didn't get open that wall either into statuary, because you destroyed the mute jammer from below or the shield. At that point, they just kind of try to rush in using those Candelas, and well, at that point, with no time left, ALPHA1, or not ALPHA1, We Miss Benfield recognize that. They pull back a little bit. They wait for ALPHA1 to just rush in despite there being no time left, and then they just wait for those moments, pick them off again and again, win them that round. So we see ALPHA1. Unfortunately, it seems like there aren't issues when it comes to that utility game, when it comes to that time efficiency as well.
With how We Miss Benfield have also just aggressively worked off of the mistakes in the room provided by ALPHA1, it's hard to see how they could... Well, unless ALPHA1, to be fair, they have called the timeout. They are taking this time to go over the mistakes they've made. But unless ALPHA1 make and fix quite a lot of untread ground and start making progress within just this single minute of time, it's hard to see a world where Benfield don't eventually win this. Even if they lose the second site, it seems that ALPHA1 really have a lot to overcome, both in their utility, their time management, their entries, and they have to do it in the next couple rounds, or Benfield will take this game, and, well, we won't really, when we think of this game afterwards, it won't be ALPHA1 successes that we'll be thinking of. It'll be Benfield primarily. I do like their attempt to use this Ying. It, again, the utility usage was it struggled to really find impact in this round, but I still think that the potential the Candelas bring to fast track and mitigate a lot of the problems that ALPHA1 have had, even if the Candelas aren't exactly placed where you meant them to be, they can still have so much impact in opening up the site and opening up the round for ALPHA1 that I like the fact that they're trying to make good use of it to make up for some of the shortcomings we've seen so far. And I think, honestly, if they dedicate that time out to figuring out a strategy based around that Ying, I think we might still see them pick up a couple rounds, even if they're still lacking in actuality.
I can see that happening too. I definitely agree with you with being able to open up with those Candelas, but to me, it's the time management. They can't be throwing those Candelas within, the last 30 seconds and trying to make it a last-ditch effort. Those aren't going to go well. Sam's looking for an early spawn pick, trying to find somebody from the side of ALPHA1 that's poke their head out while pushing through, but nobody's there. Throwing drone out. They're all playing it safe. They're not going to try and find anything out for the moment. But so far, this is that, we're going to that tertiary site. We're going to that dining kitchen site here. We might see ALPHA1 take their first attacking win here. Maybe fast track, put them on a streak of wins. Bring them back. It might happen. But so far, we're going to see how they attack this and if they're going to clear this roam, if they can push that roam. We've seen from the past winners BENFIELD, they did some probing, they did some clears. They have some different strats here. We'll see what strats ALPHA1 can bring us on their attack. But so far, they're drawing up the top floor, seeing who's up there. And so far, there's not a lot of roamers. There's actually only like one roamer upstairs. Actually, it's not too much. But it was two upstairs.
Yeah, there are two upstairs, and Sam and Bands could very well play off each other. Bands has been having a pretty solid game so far, both him and Vamp and Packer as well. So it's not like it'll be easy for ALPHA1 to deal with, even though Millies might have 12 kills. The rest of his team has sort of struggled on the entry game so far. He'll likely need some support if he wants to take down the other very solid players for We Miss BENFIELD. A couple shots fired by Bands, and Millies has yet to make a move on in. We're still waiting to see what kind of plan the attack is going for. The Ying has moved down below, and Bulb is actually the first to fall. I talked about the power that Ying could have if he's used properly, and he's the first death of the entire round. Vamp might take a hell of a lot of damage afterwards, but BENFIELD can honestly rotate back now, and it'd probably be okay.
At this point, yeah, getting rid of the Yinks is big there. Though, I don't know, leaving Mills alive, though, as a sledge could still prove a lot. There is some time to use that sledge available, and Bands is still upstairs, actually, too. So there's still a threat to the attack for ALPHA1 if they don't have their drones in the correct places. Mills is trying to just walk downstairs, but C4 from a Pack Star takes out Jolt. And that's another player just down. That's losing manpower, and Mills is going to throw away his position, shoots that clone, and still kills Ashion off of it, though.
Right.
Great shot, though. And with this, though, it's still not... What is the plan here from ALPHA1?
I was about to say, Millies of all players isn't the one I think would just go lurking and hoping for an opening down below, but I suppose so far it's worked. He's found 2 kills, the only success for his team so far, but now he's dead. Ooh. And it's Turbo with a 2-piece of his own. The Finka spotted, shot an alibi clone, and in the process has been put to 1 HP by all the defense, lobbing shots over her way. Vamp is on 1 HP, but he's holding a bit of a tight angle, and the other 2 defenders have tucked themselves nicely in corners, forcing Sheba, the Finka, to be the one that makes a play and provides an opening for the defense to win this round. And there you go. That's the opening Vamp was hoping for. A 3K for him. Match point for We Miss BENFIELD. The timeout doesn't really seem to have done much to change ALPHA1's fortunes. Yeah,
it was interesting because we saw there that was, again, early pick from We Miss BENFIELD, again, taking out your Ying and BGL. That's already a huge blow because it seems like they're trying to play off that Ying. And then on top of that, sure, Millies is great on this entry right here, but Turbo's position, if you had Mills upstairs playing the vertical, Turbo can't play that position. So what was the point in Mills being the one pushing down, trying to take those fights, rather than play the vertical? Make sure that the entry from laundry works out. Maybe make sure nobody's playing dining for when they push through there or playing kitchen. It just seems like there was a lack of understanding of what the concept of the play there for them was.
I mean, on the one hand, ignoring the operator, there's a player going for the play that Millies did, especially once it's a 3v5. I get just trying to make a play. Nothing has really worked so far. You're 12 and 3. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you. But as you said, there is that weird conflict. It's almost like there's a nice quote by George R. R. Martin where he talks about the only thing worth writing about is the human heart in conflict with itself. That's kind of Millie's position right there. He wants to be that aggressive player. He wants to be the one to make the opening, and he certainly can based off his performance in this game. Based on the role he has and the gadget he has, that's something that if he goes for, and even if he gets 2 kills, if he dies, it's going to hurt his team in the long run, and that's what happened. There is that conflict, and it's not a position I envy Millie's, to be perfectly frank. Thankfully here for Aviator Games, the Sledgehammer isn't going to be the thing that wins ALPHA1 the round. If anything, he is more important as that entry player on taking Aviator Games, being the one to move up those main stairs, try to get the pick that opens things up for ALPHA1 in this round. So it's a little bit easier of a position and a little bit of easier of a decision for Millie's to make, but it's the rest of his team that still have been lagging behind and don't show any sign of picking up their own pace.
That is an issue, definitely. Especially last time, too, when it comes to not only just kills, but just utility as always. Saw them just kind of lob utility over by main stairs and not really truly clear the players that were playing, like Packstar, who got a 2K off of that position. So this time, if they're going to play for that, if they're going to go for main stairs, maybe having the Ying, having those Candelas could be the utility they need to push Packstar back and get that control they need. Because otherwise, last time, they spent 2 minutes trying to take control, and by the time they did, they lost 2 members doing it, and they had to then force themselves onto site without really much of other recourse or angle for that play. So let's see what happens this time. Is they're going to drone up, maybe even go for a different play, but now to be wary of some of these roamers on the side of BENFIELD.
Also, well, to be fair, not seeing how Packstar has played in this game so far, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little over-aggressive on these stairs and could fall to Shiba. Gives himself up, gives an angle up to the Finka, ends up dying. Of course, Shiba is with nades, and he likely will have one in his hand, but I also like to see this from Packstar. He isn't getting over-aggressive. He's playing with that shotgun right now, hoping that ALPHA1 starts setting it up. And ALPHA1, because of that, because BENFIELD aren't giving them openings, or at least it seems like that so far, they have to use this utility to be well placed. The first Candela goes out, but there's nobody to come up behind it, and there you go, there's that shotgun. Nobody can really counter it. Another nade and a Candela is sent up, but I believe it's only the nade that lands. No, the Candela and the nade both go out, and once again, there is no follow-up from ALPHA1. Of course, there are toxic canisters this time, but BGL has used every single piece of his primary utility, and all that's working so far is Millie's. The Packstar drops from the top ropes. It's 2 kills. The remaining 2/5 of ALPHA1's roster on those main stairs all fall. Kami is the only one left. Repels in from the study balcony, gets a kill repelling in. That's an important one at that. That could have easily been the end of the entire game right there. But there's not many options for their entry into the site. Sam can use the toxic canister to choke out whatever time is remaining, stall out Kami's entry for just a little bit longer, and even then, with all of his primary utility gone, him and Ashiana in the 2v1 can easily play this man advantage and force Kami to try and take a gunfight, and if he wins it, then swing and flick to a 90-degree angle either to the left or in some other position. And that's just not a gunfight that the odds are you're going to win. It's going to need to be a throw from BENFIELD. A well-timed and delayed smoke canister by Kami puts the ace down to 1 HP. And his options are dwindling in number by the second. With 8 seconds remaining, it's looking like BENFIELD will take this 7-3, unless the throw of monumental proportions comes through. And ALPHA1, unfortunately, lose it on time.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was a round again where just that main stairs push seemed to work out better, bringing in the Ying, but not playing off those Candelas, not really pushing forward, allowing for a Packstar to still retreat to the top of the stairs, then play the top of the stairs, get a pick, and then even then the second Candela not able to really push off because of smoke canisters at that point, and then on top of that, even see Millers get a pick, but then Packstar jumps off of it, takes down Millers, even puts more of a dent into their manpower, and leaves one player in a 1v3. You could just make it a 1v2, but with no time left and no utility, like you kept saying, it's just Sam's in a rut. He's got nothing to go off of at that point. So great work to BENFIELD, take that 7-3, and that's been the quickest serious game we've had so far, actually.
Well, technically not correct. There was that 7-2 for the Favelas game.
I said serious.
But okay, I was about to say that technically, I don't know if we'd call that a game in the traditional sense. It meant the empirical qualifications for one, the base qualifications, but yes, in terms of games in which both teams were taking it seriously, this has been the shortest game that I believe Benny and I have casted so far. So unfortunate that came at a loss of ALPHA1. They do lose their flawless record, and we miss BENFIELD until we know the results of Nocturne's Outlast, which I don't believe we do yet. Yep, I just wanted to check. The game is not over yet. We miss BENFIELD right now. They have the flawless record, and they are the only team currently 5-0. But one team, Nocturnes or Outlast, one of those two, will also be the only other 5-0 team after their game finishes. We will not cut to that, because that is on Super Stream. If you want to go watch it, twitch.tv. I believe it's just Super.
Yeah,
right?
just Super.
Twitch.tv/Super? Okay.
Yep, you're correct.
Just wanted to check. I do believe we have Ice Cold, the player for Converse Esports. I believe his stream is the one we have, so you can pull that up at any time you want to. Take a look at what he is doing. I don't actually know what team he plays for, Benny. Would you have?
Oh, who is it?
I think Ice Cold.
I
know he played. I know he plays for Converse, but I don't think Converse is actually playing right now. I think he's with another team.
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. We actually we aren't cutting to his stream, so
I think we're coming to
never
Zep,
mind.
right? Yeah. He plays.
Yes.
This is Dallas Vendetta versus Datway's Kittens.
Syndicate the con single.
Is that okay? Is the monitor curved or is that just the camera?
I think it might. I can't tell actually because the camera is in a weird angle.
I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I literally
Also,
can't tell actually.
Also, we were gonna cut to Ice Cold, but I believe they are on a rehost right now, so we'd be cutting to nothing. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. It's 5. Oh, they're playing against Braction's team.
I thought you said they're playing up against a. Oh wait, were you saying Ice Cold? Ice Cold's game is Dallas Vendetta versus Datway's Kitties.
Maybe that's what it was. I'm confused. I just saw the roster, the scoreboard. I thought he was playing against someone else actually. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No, what team is he on actually? What team is Zep on? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that's what Fairmont said. Maybe I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it is Dallas Vendetta. You're right. Don't second guess yourself. You shouldn't.
I'm second guessing the shit out of myself right now.
You're okay. You're okay. Don't worry.
All right, wait.
Alright.
We're 5-4 on
Okay.
Clubhouse. It's their defense,
Master.
and we'll see if they can keep it going. I wonder what the half was like. Oh, no clue.
Nah. I don't know. I don't know what the half was like. I can imagine, though, that whatever it was, we're at a 5-4 now. I do know that.
Pretty sure it's gonna be a split take again.
Well, they're on a CC defense, and he's roaming towards Master Bedroom side. So I wonder if let's see. That's the thing. So he has Med Shiesty has found the bomb. So who are they? I'm
Wait.
so confused. Yeah,
No,
so,
wait.
That's why I'm so
This
confused.
is the Chronic Whip Ass game, then.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused. Like this can't be Dallas Vendetta.
Jersey side?
Yeah, no, this is
Drop
the...
logic, drop
Okay, so yeah,
logic.
this is Chronic Whip Ass versus Kathy's Killers.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Hey, Yannick on that drop logic.
I'm gonna open the.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Oh, is he a Dallas Vendetta streamer?
Ah, he's a Dallas Vendetta streamer, but doesn't
Ah.
play for Dallas
I got a
Vendetta.
drone
Well,
downstairs. They only
that
have
makes
5
sense. Okay.
drones.
Yeah, that's not our fault. That's just
In
confusing.
Master side.
Yeah, that's utterly.
Why don't you play for them? Huh?
But yeah, since we're watching his view, we have no clue what's going on. Actually,
got two
wow,
ace charges.
nice. So they're going for a split take, and he's able to destroy 2 Selmas.
I have to say,
got
I have not
Conside.
seen a split take in a long time.
Oh, I'm dead from breach.
It's usually because they can. It's pretty easy. Not so easy, but it's been easier per se to get rid of rafters, depending on the bands.
I got the main
True.
stage flank cam.
Ooh, took down Hitman though.
the
World
breach
Eater
wall
off the board. Hitman R6 taken down.
Uh oh.
So far, it's the Shiesty duo been going nuki though.
I'm coming
They
up
have
red, I'm
sight?
coming up red. Stay alive, stay alive.
What?
Don't-
They just
don't
how
peek.
did they go for
Apparently
the
not.
plat? How'd they get in?
Okay, I'm up red.
Maybe they just. Well, he's watching Khan.
They have 3 drones left.
Dude, I have to say, Zappa's been the drone just murderer this game.
We need you to hold breach.
Yeah, they have no drones left. They have a minute
Dude,
left. with, like,
I
2
feel like he
drones.
shot like
Throw the
half the
shield.
drones.
One's in con.
He's been drone hunting the entire round. Uh oh.
Oh,
On the con.
Reaction's pushing in.
I push in.
Where's the Womaya? Is he playing rafters? Oh no, he's back. Oh, they
I
open.
assume he was playing Rafters, but I was about to say he is kind of exposing himself right now because because of that angle. So
One's pushing red.
a little bit risky.
The other one's
Now Zep, I think the bomb's going down if I heard the keystrokes
Go right
right.
up.
So yeah, I was about to say.
I am so confused with what's going
Wait.
on.
So was there one con?
I think they relocated to Plaid. I don't even know, dude. That was a confusing round.
Did you guy?
I got wall banged from
Wall
the breach.
bang? Yeah.
I actually have no idea what happened there.
Because the interesting thing is they're in the 2v2, and the Womai's playing CC. So I'm like, did they not open Plaid, or how can he play CC?
I'm gonna put
Yeah, I guess he must have repelled up and then dropped on plat maybe.
Yeah, and then I guess the Womai was just unaware of his presence and got shot down. I just
holes on the cash to con wall.
very confusing round for
Yeah.
especially it's confusing watching one person's point of view.
Have to, right? Okay. Let's get an electric.
It's also funny when sometimes the players might comp something wrong.
on all those walls. On
So, since we don't have that God's eye perspective, I'm like, I guess there's somebody there, and then they die from like the complete opposite directions. Like, hold up, what?
Yes. Like,
We're
They
all
have sight.
confused.
They have sight. What?
I'm gonna play below a C4.
Guys, they have sight. They do?
this wall, Grant, you could get- no,
What?
stop, stop, stop.
That's news to me. What happened?
Looking through those walls.
That's a good sign, by the way. 5 seconds on, I hear somebody go, no, stop.
I don't know there, yeah.
It's always a good sign.
Yes, yeah, get all the garage
They're
walls.
full reinforcing con. Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't reinforce the red wall yet. I'm not sure if we'll have enough.
And they're oh my god.
I'll put my other shield, red hall.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I've noticed that when we watch one player's perspective, I get a lot more quiet.
Well, it's because you can hear their comms too. So
Well,
not
it's,
like
no, it's not because that. It's just I genuinely watch what they're doing.
that's true too. I guess yeah. I would say I usually just don't talk too much because you can hear both
Yeah,
us
yeah,
and the
that
comms.
one,
So that
that
can be a lot.
So what have they reinforced? They full reinforced con.
Yep,
Okay.
con,
Yeah, I'm gonna play
plat.
below.
They didn't reinforce
Whoever
the
plays,
con
I gotta
single
join,
wall. I believe
So-
they probably
Did they
reinforced
not? I
garage
thought they
as well.
reinforced the con single wall.
The con. No, they
Did they
didn't.
not?
It's open. They opened
Whoever
it.
plays in
Oh,
Oh,
so-
sorry. No, sorry. I was thinking the con single the
plays on the
outside.
con?
Excuse
Oh,
me.
no, they reinforced
Oh,
it.
my
Yeah. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the normal.
So they
con
reinforced
single wall.
that. The 4 walls count as 7. They reinforced one of the garage walls. That's 8. They do the other 2 red walls? No, they did plat
no,
wall.
'cause I
So that's
might-
Yeah,
10.
they did plat. Yeah, it's 10 right
So
there.
yeah, I guess the entirety of the red wall is
Changing
soft.
it up.
Yeah. So
That's
this is-
that's a little bit difficult if anybody's playing red.
It's interesting. I guess you probably just have a shield there to play it behind. I guess at that point is all you do at
Do
that point.
the
Really.
do the benefits of holding? I mean, I guess they've been going for split takes, but
Drone main door. I got the drone main door.
They didn't even. The thing is, last time they didn't even open
only
that
have
red
6
wall,
drones
or not
left.
the con single wall even.
I'm gonna go
So
through basement
the
and
split
hold
take
for
wasn't
oil.
even the
Same
big
main
point
door,
of
I
that.
think.
So why even hold con? It was the plat wall that was the
Play
issue.
oil, so we
they
go.
still did try to push it fairly aggressively, though. I mean, you saw
did.
the only reason they didn't open it up was because Zep shot 2 of the Saltma charges. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's fair. It seems like a fair adaptation.
We just have to go.
Well, they only
But
had the
they-
opening pick though in the wall.
Well, I was about to say they got the already pick on the Wamai though, so I don't think they're going for a split take anymore.
Yeah, that's Oh, you can go oil pit now. Are they? Do they have control garage ready?
Garage door. About to be.
I mean, I
done.
assume that.
Right in garage.
I mean, unless the Jaeger's playing Rafters, which he might be, but assuming the Wamai was, going oil pit is the logical play there. Oh, my boy
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, he already has control
Yeah.
garage.
Oh, they already have control garage. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
unlucky.
That's he was already he went to oil pit and someone's already on top of it, just watching the grates.
Yeah.
So
That's...
that is if they have
On
plat and
rafters?
rafters.
Oh,
This is gonna be
oh,
difficult.
Oh yeah. So no. So yeah, the Wamai was playing Raptors. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the best play then. Going oil
Yeah.
pit. I thought they.
down there.
I just assumed he was going oil pit. They still had somebody Rafters, but I guess not.
It sounded like they didn't have anybody there at that point, so that the oil pit play was dangerous. But now it's like what they have the smokes in the C4. They have to land those perfectly.
This is looking tough. They're having to use all this utility.
Oh.
Oh, wow, got a smoke.
Oh,
Oh
no.
Oh
Wow.
wow, that's
What?
unlucky. That is unfortunate right there. Wow.
He just guns down 2 of them in a row.
I mean, to be fair though, they were using their smokes and they were probably going to use their C4, and we hadn't even reached a minute remaining yet. So
that is true too. But hey, if they at least they got the kill on one player with the smoke, if they just got another kill with the C4, it could have been doable.
honestly, the fact that they even got a smoke kill is pretty wild. I doubt they get another one. So the smoke canisters. I mean, they do waste time, which is important, but you're gonna have to use
Yeah.
that C4, and then they only have what, 1 remaining at that point.
Yeah,
Actually, the mutant
that's-
says
I imagine they baited out. At worst, they lose another body. This is assuming nobody dies to a gunfight, that everyone plays their cards right. So that's a 3v3.
Yeah.
I mean, you could swing, but you got to deal with a plat wall player, probably somebody either garage or CC window. I don't know.
It is difficult at that point because you
it's
got to
the-
swing plat at that point. If you can,
That
yeah,
that round was trending downwards.
yeah. At that point, you have to swing plat, and that's going to be a difficult fight. But they're on a match point. This might go to overtime based on what's happening. Actually, not overtime. It's probably no. That's probably the end of the game. But at the same point,
Based on the defenses so far, they've played.
They do an 80.
How many
Played
defensive
CC
rounds have
twice.
we seen? They played CC twice, so we've seen 3 rounds.
yeah. Well, we see
Okay,
no, it was
so-
2.
Oh, we've only seen 2 defensive rounds.
Yeah, because it was 5-4. Now it's 5-6.
Oh, you're right. I'm stupid.
Yeah,
Sorry. They have one basement before though. I saw it was locked, and when they picked CC last round, it had been. Hold on. Let me try to calculate. So we've seen 2 rounds. Before that was.
Carry the 4.
So it was either a 3-3 half or a 4-2 half.
okay, so this could be overtime at this point. Just gotta win
Yeah.
CC. Just gotta win downstairs again, which they
Yeah.
did before.
So yeah, I think it definitely could be overtime. They are bringing a bandit on bottom floor, which the only time I've seen a bandit on bottom floor recently was I attribute this strat to Parabellum. I don't know if somebody else came up with it or NPB co-opted it, but it's when they extended out the entire map. They reinforced Plat Wall and Jacuzzi Wall and put bandit batteries on both of them while defending basement.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I think we saw a bandit recently, but it wasn't anything big. It was just they put it on like dirt or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, most people probably just put it on church wall. Like it's not saying that that's the only application for bandit, but usually when I see bandit, I'm like, oh, we see in the realm. But no, this case, they probably just put it on.
Because we saw Kaid earlier, so Kaid's not banned. So why bring the bandit over the Kaid?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, maybe they just want to get a little bit more active in the site with the MP7. Don't want to worry about the AUG. But that is a fair question. Why not go with the Kaid? Because you can one, get the church wall, also get a hatch.
Yeah. It's just interesting because it's like I'm assuming Thatcher's banned, which I think it is. I don't know actually too if not.
I'd be 98% sure it is.
Yeah, I'm assuming Thatcher's banned, and even if they have memory, that's just time wasted trying to deal with the hatches. So it's like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out for them and if what the attack goes for here on Braction's team. But so far, it's again, this is just kind of that default bunker setup here from them. Nothing too crazy, so it's just kind of leaving up to Braxton to do the work. At least Braction's team.
I can't right now because Zophie's gonna push.
Oh. I feel like Zed might be getting a little bit over aggressive here.
Blue stairs.
A little over that, yeah, especially because there's so many blue stairs. He might have somebody behind him to... Nope, there's nobody behind him playing. I feel like this would be a good time to try and take cover behind the generator. Unless... Is there somebody playing blue with him, Benny?
I don't believe so. I hear them throwing goo mines to help him out, but I don't think anybody's actually playing with him. All I hear is the goo mines being thrown towards secret.
Yeah, I mean, he there might be goo mine secrets, so it's not like he's playing without like any intel or any, I guess, support. But I guess if nobody's pushing oil pit, this is still, I feel like, a little bit risky though.
If someone's on cams and they still, I'm assuming default's probably shot out already. There's no way it's not. So I don't know what information he's really playing off of.
Well, he's going back to the generator now, so it's at least worked out. Now playing behind you with 45 seconds left. I think he only has 180 S though, so that's a little bit worrisome.
Oh, they have the wall open.
Oh, I was gonna say now in the 3v5 they have the wall open. He's the only one who could stop that push. So
yeah,
looking like this is gonna be a 7-5.
Oh no, there is a Thatcher.
Oh, there is. Oh,
yeah, you can see the devices are all disabled.
Well, that's certainly problematic.
So like, I guess the bandit would try the bandit trick at that point, but even then, that's difficult.
Well, now 4v1 odds are, I believe, yep, Crown Equip Bass will take that 7-5. We're cutting back as I'm leaned back in my chair.
Just kind of
relax with that cut. Caught me lacking.
How many games are left?
You know, I was about to say, let me see how many games are left. Is it? If there's...
Oh, there's a lot still.
Wow. Are we gonna do a... Okay, I was about to see. I was gonna be like, are we gonna do a second stream? I don't think we've ever cut to a second POV before. Never been in this kind of situation. But no, we won't. We will instead send it to a break. Of course, before we go, I did mention earlier, had one other sponsor to thank. It is, of course, Mavix Gaming Chairs. If you're like Benny and you have a comfortable gaming chair, you know, it served you well. It's old, reliable, but starting to get a little bit outdated, and you're in the market for something new, something sleek, and something built with your comfort in mind, but you can't go wrong with a Mavix gaming chair. Starting at the low payment for $22.22 a month if you go to mavix.com/nerdstreetgamers. Get a chair that is built with long-term and long hours of gaming in mind, with features like air conditioning in your chair. I feel like I always emphasize that in the ad reads because it still boggles my mind that that is scientifically possible. I just didn't know that was a thing. Benny,
gamers get hot.
That's true. Gamers, not only do they get hot, they be hot. We need that AC for 2 reasons. Benny, does your chair have air conditioning?
Oh, of course not. How would a lowly person like me get air conditioning in my
That's
chair?
true. How would this man have AC in his chair? He flipped his entire bed layout so he could have a fan pointed at his head. You know he doesn't have AC in his chair. But of course, go to mavix.com/nerdstreetgamers. As I said earlier, snag yourself an extremely comfortable chair, all for an affordable price. But of course, as we said, we're not going to cut to a second POV. We will instead cut to a break, wait for round number 5 to finish, and once it is, and the bracket goes live, and we select a match, we'll be back with round number 6. Don't worry, Benny and I will be there the rest of the way.